Guys, I just got done with a video call interview for the show, and I have to say that it was like the smoothest experience ever. Didn't have any issues or anything, and the video came out almost perfect. And do you know why? It's because I used Riverside. Riverside is your online recording studio where you can record a conversation with any guest online. You can easily record podcasts and videos in studio quality from anywhere, all from your browser or their mobile app. All you have to do is get your setup ready, send your guests a link for them to join, have them join from their phone or their computer, and just chat away. A lot of podcasts that you listen to are probably using Riverside, honestly. What sets Riverside apart is that a recording of your audio and your video is happening locally on your computer. So even if your connection isn't that good, it doesn't ruin the entire recording or anything. Once you've finished recording, you will get the individual tracks of each speaker and also a combined one. You'll receive all the raw files, including that Pepsi crystal clear uncompressed audio in up to 4K video. There's also lots of really cool features where you can edit your video right in their site. So, if you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, or streamer, or a content creator of any kind, and you want to have high quality conversations with your guests, please use my link in the description and sign up for Riverside. If you want to support me in the channel, please use my link since I end up getting a cut from the sales. I'm not joking. Please support me. Sign up for Riverside and start recording today. Of that. Anyways, welcome back. It's a new season. I guess I'm calling them seasons now. I didn't really before, but I guess it makes sense. It kind of gives that official sort of show kind of feel. So we'll just go with that. But yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Glad to be back. Hope you guys had a pleasant Christmas, a pleasant Happy New Year, whatever else you freaks get up to in December. Winter solstice. It's me without you reference. Today we are joined by Nothing Is Wrong by Dawes. Nothing is wrong, you know? Everything is pretty fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah. It's a big day for us. Getting back into the show, and we're starting off with a bang. Starting off with our top 10 worst Christian hit songs of 2023. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Maybe a little bit of just a little bit of housekeeping to do. We've got a comment from Mr. Jesus Freak Eric. and he left a comment in the last show ranking all of Anberlin's albums. He asked, I was wondering if you can tell us the status of the John James video. So, I think I've said this before in videos, but you know, I'll clear the air today. But for those of you who might be new, I have been trying to work on this documentary about John James, the former lead singer of the Newsboys, and was working on it really hard. And then the computer that I had just went kaput on me. Can't use it anymore. But all that stuff, all that work that I was doing was still on the hard drive. And so since all the data is on that hard drive, I can't access it on my own. It's something that has to be done by a professional, and that's going to cost somewhere up around like $900, which, you know, whatever. At some point I'd be willing to pay that money, but just not right now. I have some other things that I'd rather spend that money on currently. But you know, one of these days I'll get back to it because I really want to finish that video. Really want to get around to it. So it's just been put on temporary hold. And I'm just, in the meantime, working on some other projects. You guys probably saw I did the little like stream highlight video of the Devil Ward stream. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I think it's pretty funny. I put some effort into the editing to make it as entertaining as possible. So I would recommend you guys go check that out. So yeah, I'll definitely be giving some more updates on the John James video as time goes on. Right now, I'm working on a analysis / review of the Days of Noah film, and I got some other projects that I'd like to work on this year, but we'll talk more about that. Trying to think if there's anything else. There's a new Podwood Forecast episode if you guys haven't checked it out. While everyone was posting their best of 2023 lists, we decided to do an episode on our top 10 albums of 2018. And we get into why we decided to do that on the episode. But it's a really fun episode, so I recommend you check it out. We're currently working on our best favorite albums of 2023 right now, so that'll be out some point soon, hopefully by the end of January. I know we're always super late with these. I'm always super late with these lists, but it's going to happen. I just don't know why everyone rushes with these things. It's like the beginning of December and people are already sharing their top 10 of everything, top 10 films, which also, that doesn't make sense to me because a lot of the best films come out at around like Christmas time because of the Oscar seasons. So I don't know why you guys do this. A lot of my friends on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, do that, and it's like, what the heck, guys? Why so hasty? You know? So, but maybe me, I'm a little bit, maybe I should be more hasty than I actually am. But yeah, so anyways, I think we can just get right to the chase. Just cut to the chase. Doing our top 10 worst Christian hit songs. First of all, I want to address I'm sure some of you are wondering, if you didn't see my post from like earlier this week, of the thumbnail. And I'm just going to pull it up here. Why don't you go ahead and pull it up here, Jamie? Right there. So when I posted about this, I mentioned that there's like a bunch of different references just all in this one thumbnail. And some of you, like on the YouTube community post and on social media, got like 2 of the references, and I'm very proud of you guys. Sorry, the whole thing is backwards. So for all of you audio listeners, what we've got is Well, it's probably gonna be the episode art, but just in case, we've got a little kid on the beach looking out to the water, and on the horizon you see a face coming out of it. Now, a lot of you have already gotten two of the three obvious references in there. Yes, the whole thing is actually a reference to um, the Neon Genesis Evangelion film, End of Evangelion. And I'm going to pull that up here for reference right there. And I'll tell you guys, I'll share with you guys my thought process behind this, like why I decided to do this. But yeah, anyways, so it is an End of Evangelion reference, and that's why I put the text in the thumbnail. I didn't want to say like top 10 Christian hit songs, like that's already in the title, but like End of Evangelical Music, like that's clever, you know. But and I'm not saying that it's more hyperbolic. I don't actually mean that 2023 was the end of evangelical music. I don't even really, no one ever says evangelical music. I just thought that it works with the parody. But and I tried to get the font as close to the actual font as I could. But yeah, it's a Neon Genesis reference. If you guys don't know, it's a popular anime. And the other one that you guys got was that the face coming out of it is John Cooper from Skillet. Because I was trying to think what would be like the perfect face to like be the face coming out of it, and like what is a good representation of bad Christian music. And I thought John Cooper. Now some people are going to get offended. Skillet fans are going to be offended by that, but I'm going to get into more of that later in the episode, so stay tuned. Nothing against John Cooper. It's just I'm not a fan of Skillet, but and I got to tell you, it was actually kind of hard to find a side profile picture of John Cooper to put in there. I thought about trying to get an AI image of John Cooper, but I don't know how to work that thing. Anytime that I tried to get a picture of John Cooper, it's like that doesn't look like John Cooper. That just looks like a dude with a beard and kind of the similar hairstyle, but doesn't look like him. So, but I finally found that one, and that was from an album art from one of their singles. So I used that, even though it's not the best picture of him because he's got all that paint on him, but whatever. People recognized him, so it works. So that's the two of the three references in here, but what people have not guessed is where the picture with the kid and the ocean comes from. And this was actually what sparked my idea for the thumbnail. This is such a long-winded thing for something so stupid. So this is a screenshot from the Jon Bellion cover of Meant to Live by Switchfoot. Because it's not only a screenshot, but it's actually the thumbnail for the music video on YouTube. And this is where I got the idea for the parody, the reference. Is like I saw the picture and I'm like, that kind of reminds me of End of Evangelion. And I was like, wait. Because I was trying to think of what would be a good, thumbnail for the video. Usually in the past, I've like taken a screenshot of one of the songs on my list. Like if there was a video of it, and I'd take a screenshot of it and like do just something funny in Photoshop, and usually just like make their heads and their mouths really big. But I couldn't really think of anything good for it, and I don't know. I just decided I wanted to do something different this time. And I was like, oh, wait, that would be so funny if I took this thumbnail and I photoshopped some sort of recognizable face on it. And yeah, so that was the one thing. That was the one reference that you guys didn't get. It was the Jon Bellion Switchfoot music video. So, but if you did get it, you can give yourselves a pat on the back. Yeah, so I'm gonna. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh yeah. Also another thing is got a new uh s- just a slight update to the whole look of the stream. Um, you probably noticed in the thumbnail and what we got going on in the left hand corner here. Um, I decided to. I haven't gotten rid of the the NBC I'm Clifford today logo because of course I'm still using it in the video, but I just kind of decided I didn't really like how it looked in my thumbnails and on the stream. There's kind of too much going on and a little, I don't know. I wanted something a little cleaner. So I took the other logo that I have, that's like on my banners and everything, that I'm Clifford today, yellow text, and decided to just kind of update a little bit and make it the, I guess, watermark is what it would be called, and put that on there. And did the same thing for the thumbnail, as you can see there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I like the NBC logo. I think it's funny. And that's kind of like why I did it. And I also think it's funny that I've gotten some flack from like new people who don't know my show. They'd be like, isn't that copyright or whatever? Like, no, it's protected under parody, technically. I still haven't gotten a cease and desist from from NBC, so crossing our fingers. All right, so that was a long-winded thing just to talk about a thumbnail, but I thought that people would think that that was fun. So, thank you. All right, so we're going to get into the list. So for those of you who are new to my top 10 Christian hit song lists, there are certain rules. There's a certain criteria that a song has to meet in order to qualify for being a part of these lists, both my best and worst lists. So the criteria that it has to meet is that these songs have to they have to have entered the top 50 charts, Billboard charts of Christian music. That's the criteria of being a Christian hit song. When I first started this, when I did like the more edited versions back in 2020, it was Christian pop songs. And that was also mostly because I was taking strong inspiration from a YouTube channel called Todd in the Shadows. He did the secular version of it. And but then I realized that, like, you know what? I think people are getting kind of fused about Christian pop song. Like, when I said pop song, I meant more, not really in the genre sense, but more in the actual original definition of pop song was popular. That's what it meant. But I think that it confused a lot of people, so I changed last year when I brought it back. I decided to change it to Christian hit songs, and I think that makes a bit more sense. But then I think Todd in the Shadows did the exact same thing after I did it. So hey, I'm gonna be contacting H Bomber Guy, and accusing you of plagiarism, Todd. Even though I stole your idea, kind of. Anyways, so yeah, that is the criteria. So just so that there's no confusion there. Now, before we get right into it, I'm sorry, I feel like I keep delaying it, but I just wanted to talk about 2023 in general as a year in Christian music, particularly when it comes to bad Christian music. Now, here's the thing about 2023 and what I experienced going through all these songs and trying to pick a top 10 is that it was kind of hard. Not gonna lie. I actually, I can say that 2023 was actually a pretty good year for Christian music. Now, I'm not saying it was still bad. There was still some bad stuff, and probably the biggest problem with 2023 was that too much of it was just bland and mediocre and just like generally inoffensive, that like it wasn't so bad that it deserved being in the top 10, but it still wasn't good enough to be in the best top 10, if that makes sense. So it was mostly just a year of blandness, but I gotta say, I had more contenders for I had more potential picks for my top 10 list than I did for my top 10 worst list. Because usually how I do this is that like I find a song, I write down the songs that that made it in the top 50 charts, and I listen to them. And I decide, is this song good or bad enough to be in either of these lists? And if it's bad, if I think that it's like generally more bad than it is mediocre, then I put it down in my potential top 10 worst slot. If it's good, I put it up in my top 10 best slot. If it's like neither of them, I just get rid of it and don't bother about it. And then when I get through all the songs of the year, I go back to each list and I go through them and I rank them and I see which ones make it to the top 10. So that's my whole process, if it makes sense. So yeah, 2023 was just mostly a year of mediocre but more good songs than I honestly expected. But there's still some pretty bad ones. So we're still going to talk about them today, because there's still bad stuff out there. Christian music hasn't redeemed itself just yet, at least contemporary Christian music. So yeah, we got a little bit of time, so we're just going to get right into it. And I will preface this by saying not everyone is going to agree with me. Sometimes I kind of question myself, where it's like, why do I hate this song so much, and I kind of have to remind myself, like, why. So there might be some entries in here that you might be like, okay, it's not good, but I don't know why you'd have it at this place in your list, but I'll try to justify it as best as I can. So, yeah, let's get into it. So starting at the bottom 10, starting at the bottom, now we're here. My number 10 for 2023 is Easy to Praise by Patrick Mayberry. So, the bottom of my top 10 worst list it's always the toughest part, because I'm basically trying to decide from amongst a small pool of really mediocre Christian music that are bad, but I probably don't have the strongest feelings about. Because like I said, 2023 was already like a year of mediocre Christian music, and I basically had to really try to pick the worst ones out of mediocre songs. And the thing is that they all just kind of sound the same. It's not really until we get to the top of the list that I have more specific things to complain about more passionately. So for the bottom of the list, I do have to try to find little things that for some reason bother me more than the others. So I'm kind of nitpicking at this point. So for this song, Easy to Praise by Patrick Mayberry, I picked it as my number 10. Not just because it sounds like everything else and is more boring and uninteresting contemporary Christian music, because it is, but also because of the freaking claps. I talked about this last year, I'm pretty sure, but we gotta stop it with the claps and the stomping. I think this started with Ren Collective when Christian music was trying to catch up with the secular music of 2010 around that time when they were trying to be folky. And there was a lot of folk music that was popular. But the freaking stomps and claps have just prevailed in Christian music that it's become a staple of Christian music. Like if you hear that in the beginning of a new song that like came out recently, you know it's a Christian song. And claps are becoming like the new millennial whoa, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, the whoa 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 whoa, like every song has to have like a whoa part. And they're always at the beginning of every song that they're in. And there's always that one chord that's like played on a piano or maybe a piano and a guitar, and then the claps ensue. It's like dun 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 dun. Like I could probably make a compilation of if I had so much time in my life, I could probably make a compilation of all of those songs. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And as soon as I heard it in this song, I just groaned aloud. I groaned aloud. I'll also say that I had never really heard of Patrick Mayberry before. So before I played the song, I was like, oh, a new unfamiliar face. Hope he brings something new to the sound of CCM. Nope. Like I said before, really nothing new or original about his song. So just sounds like everything else. And the claps just add insult to injury. So that is why it is my number 10, Easy to Praise by Patrick Mayberry. I hope you guys like. I decided to go all out with the Evangelion references, so I stole like the title card. It's actually really close because I found this Neon Genesis title card generator, so like it has the exact font, and you can put whatever text you want in there. So I've used that. That's going to be the theme for this episode. It's a Neon Genesis theme. Because I'm a weeb, apparently. So, all right. So, our number 9 is Authority in the Name of Jesus by Stars Go Dim. This is just, I don't really have much to say about it, except that it's just some more regurgitated CCM that has no unique fingerprint of its own. I think what is most offensive to me about it is that whenever I see videos of Stars Go Dim, he seems to give off this sort of like alternative vibe in the way he dresses and such, and he has like the long hair and everything, but his music is anything but alternative. I mean, I'm not saying that he has to be alternative, but that's what takes me aback, you know. And I get this I get kind of the same reaction when I listen to Matty Mullins from Memphis Mayfire do his solo stuff. So yeah, it's basically just more bland, just like so inoffensive that it's offensive to me. So that's my number 9 is Stars Go Dim song Authority in the Name of Jesus. I speak through the lies, truth in the name of Jesus. I speak through the fear, hope. All right. Now we're getting into more of the offensive in this list. So my number 8 is Praise the Lord by Micah Tyler. I really don't know why anyone likes Micah Tyler. He's basically just copying Mercy Me's homework and crediting it as his own. Not that Mercy Me is really all that original themselves. I'm not a Mercy Me fan either. And this song isn't really, it's not really the worst thing aside from sounding like the most derivative CCM music. But I probably was really influenced by the music video. The song is about praising God no matter what comes your way. You know, good message. But the video is filled with Micah just going through first world problems that most of them are like 100% his own doing. I don't base my opinions on a song on the music video, but it definitely didn't help because it's the cringiest thing ever. But I think the song is just cringy in itself personally, and that's mostly the vibe that I get from Micah Tyler and his music. So this one, it's just no exception, you know. So that's my number 8 is Praise the Lord by Micah Tyler. I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna lift my hands and praise no matter what. Yeah. That small clip alone is so cringy. So, all right. Man, we're just kind of, I feel like we're kind of flying through this episode, but maybe not. Got a few more minutes and then we'll get to the break. My number 7 is Yes, I Am by Christian Paul. Nothing much to say here except that it's just all kinds of levels of cringe. Man, I'm such a good reviewer, you know, just saying cringe. That's my review for all these songs. It's just cringe. Mediocre pop with that generic feel good Christian feel. The song doesn't say much except for what 100 other Christian songs already have. The only people that are enjoying this song are moms driving in their car after picking up their kids from school. No men actually like this song. No men actually like most of these songs on this list. I'm willing to bet, but that's probably that is probably the case for most of these songs. But yeah, it's basically just the same as Micah Tyler. Like I listen to it, and I watch him, and it's just like ugh, like this does not speak to me at all. This is not my thing. So that's why that's my number 7 is Yes I Am by Christian Paul. Hallelujah, sing it. Devil had it in the grave. Jesus told him think again. Hallelujah. All right, I guess we'll get into number 6, and then we'll take a break. I think that's a pretty good breaking point. You know, kind of getting through half of the list and then going through the rest of the half. So my number 6 is I Believe It, The Life of Jesus by Jon Reddick. So when you hear the first 10, it was like what I was saying with Patrick Mayberry. Yeah, Mayberry. Just got to think Andy Griffith Show. But when you hear the first 10 seconds of the song, it's so clear that you were listening to a Christian song. Like the CCM claps, the CCM piano chords. And I'm sorry, but Jon Reddick sounds like 10 other guys in CCM. And there's nothing special about this song except for the fact that it's been done 1,000 times. Like, how many times are we going to keep recycling the Apostles' Creed? Like, and I'm all for, promoting the Apostles' Creed and all that. But like, Hillsong's already done it. Newsboys did it. It's like, we don't need another I Believe This song, you know? And I don't know what it is about this bland CCM song that puts it above a lot of other bland CCM songs, but it just made me want to throw up within the first minute of listening to it. And not because it's the worst thing I've ever heard, but more in a biblical, you are so lukewarm, I want to spit you out of my mouth kind of way. It's just like, oh, I've heard this a million times in Christian music, and it's still so tropey and cliche that it's like the worst thing ever to listen to it. So that's why that's my number 6 is I Believe It, The Life of Jesus by Jon Reddick. All right, so we're going to get to the last 5 of this list. But first, we're going to get into a break. We have a spotlight segment. We have a spotlight artist that I want you guys to check out. And then we'll be back with the rest of top 10 worst list of Christian hit songs. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, thanks for watching or listening to the I'm Clifford Today show. Right now we're going to take a few minutes to listen to this week's spotlight artist, Jupp, and his song entitled Invincible, Lord of Hosts. You can find his music on any platform you prefer, including Bandcamp, where you can purchase his music and support the artist directly.
Invincible.
If you're a Christian artist and would like to hear your music in the Spotlight segment, send an email to the address in the description of the episode. And now, back to the show.
All right, we're back. We're coming back. Thanks so much to Joel Jupp for being the spotlight artist on this show and promoting the show. Really appreciate it, brother. Thanks for making some awesome music. You guys can check out, he's got a whole album out called Invincible that just came out, and it's interesting because it's a Christmas album, but he released it in the beginning of January, and the meaning, purpose behind it is, and he said this in a social media post, that back in the day, Christmas used to be a 12-day thing. And so that's why he did that. And I think it's really interesting. But like Invincible, I think it's something that, well, technically Christmas should be something that we should celebrate year round, you know, so the coming of Christ and his salvation. And I think that in the song Invincible does a really good job at doing that. So thanks again, Joel Jupp. Link in the description if you want to check out his music and support him. So going back to our top 10 worst Christian hit songs of 2023. Number 5 is probably going to make some people upset because I think longtime followers of this show probably know that I am not a big Skillet fan. The thing about Skillet is that they are loved by different kinds of Christian music fans, including the people that would probably follow my show that probably agree that Christian music is bland and boring. And there are probably a handful of them that really like Skillet because like of how they're not like normal Christian music. And while I would agree, for me personally, well, I'm just going to get into it. My number 5 is Crossfire by Skillet. And so basically any complaints that I've had for any Skillet song in the past, I would just repeat here. Skillet is a band that has not grown or developed since their Comatose album, honestly. And every dull and boring hard rock / new metal, whatever the genre is, sounds like every other. It sounds like every other Skillet song. Like there's hardly any differentiation between any of them. Crossfire sounds like it could have been made on a computer without actually using any real instruments, and the lyrics sound like they were AI generated by taking all the lyrics to every Skillet song ever. There's nothing special about the song, and that's what makes it so bad, in my opinion. And I respect. I'm an anomaly here, where like I don't like Skillet. I used to like them back in the day. I like their older stuff. Like when they were like, I guess more grungy. I don't know. I like You Are My Hope. That's a good song. But yeah, just haven't been a fan. But the thing is that I respect John Cooper. I like John Cooper. I agree with a lot of the things that he says well, I don't watch I'm not like a regular listener of his podcast, but like usually whenever there's controversy surrounding John Cooper and John Cooper is saying some sort of controversial thing, I usually end up agreeing with him. So I don't know what that says about me, but yeah, not a Skillet fan, but like John Cooper, you're all right. So I'm sorry I don't like your music. So yeah, anyways, that's my number 5 is Crossfire by Skillet.
Crossfire when you're going through hell and you're screaming for help. Crossfire when you're losing yourself.
So my number 4 is a very interesting entry. My number 4 is Meant to Live, the cover by Jon Bellion. It's Meant to Live, originally by Switchfoot, covered by Jon Bellion. Now, for those of you who don't know, last year Switchfoot did something really interesting where they took their song, their classic album, The Beautiful Letdown, and they did a deluxe edition. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. They released an hour version. They basically pulled a Taylor Swift, and they re-recorded their songs. And when it came out, I didn't understand it. I guess I understand why they would do that, but there was really nothing special about the release. It was basically just them covering themselves and not really doing anything that much. They didn't really do anything interesting with it. And so, like, it's like, why would I listen to this when I could just listen to the original? And the original is just better. But then something else that they did was that they released a deluxe edition of our version. They released a deluxe version of our version of The Beautiful Letdown, where it featured different artists covering each of the songs from Beautiful Letdown. And this was one of the songs, and I gotta say that it's a mixed bag. There's some good tracks on there that I really liked. I really liked Owl City's, Colony House. I like Tyler Joseph's from 21 Pilots. Couple others. Dayglow. Dayglow was a really good one, but a lot of them were just kind of lackluster. So it was, and this was one of them. It was Jon Bellion's cover, and the thing is that Meant to Live is a song that means a lot to me. Hi, Kanye West. Biggie Den, what's up? Welcome to the show. Also, well, never mind. It's a song that means a lot to me because it Meant to Live. It was an anthem for my years as a Christian youth, and I have a lot of attachment to that song. The band I was in at the time covered that song. So this particular song, it's probably the biggest letdown, no pun intended. Today we're talking, Biggie Den is in the chats asking what we're talking about, and we're talking about the top 10 worst Christian hit songs of 2023. And I'm on my number 4 currently, working my way up. So this song is probably the biggest letdown for me. I get what Jon Bellion was going for. He was kind of going for this, epic version of the song, where it's all like orchestrated, strings and everything, but the strings are just kind of boring. It just kind of feels like any copyright-free orchestral music you could find on YouTube. If you look up epic video game music or whatever. And Jon's voice, like it is in a lot of his music. And here's the thing: is that I used to like Jon Bellion, but I kind of dropped off after I realized that his production, while he has interesting ideas, his music is just kind of way too overproduced for me to really resonate with. And his voice is, like in this song, it's way too auto-tuned and overproduced and just doesn't feel real. And whenever I listen to this song, I would just rather be rocking out to the original. So Jon seems like he's trying to get me to cry, especially with the music video and everything, but I'd rather be headbanging and screaming along to the song. So this song was meant to live for so much more, but it kind of lost itself in this version. So that is why it is my number 4. It is Jon Bellion's cover of Meant to Live by Switchfoot.
We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside.
All right, moving on to our number 3. And this is the part of the list that I'm sure people are going to be like, oh, here Clifford goes complaining about worship music again. And yep, I think it's because I care so much about worship music that when it's bad, it offends me the most. And that's why they end up being they usually end up being so high on my list. I think last year, I'm pretty sure my number 1 worst song was a worship song. In 2020, my number 1 was a worship song. So yeah, this one is no different. It is Runnin' by Elevation Worship. So Elevation Worship has been guilty of many things. They've been guilty of writing overly emotional worship. They've been guilty of writing slightly narcissistic lyricism from time to time. They've even crossed the line of being slightly questionable theologically. But one thing I had not accused them of until now is being annoying. And this song is annoying. First of all, the title is just annoying because it's not just running ing at the end. It's runnin' with an N and an apostrophe at the end because they probably didn't go with running because Hillsong already did that song. But no, it's runnin' because we're hip and cool and say things differently. You can't just say running because that's too boring and normal. You have to say it's runnin'. And I hate that so much. Like already, the song is just giving me a bad impression just from the title. And at first, it feels and sounds like a typical Elevation Worship song. But then they get to the chorus and the runnin' part. And yeah, they shout runnin' a lot. And I'm sure there's kids at their church that are like, I like this song because we get to yell runnin'. But then they get to the bridge and they say it a lot more. To reference a Game Grumps quote, hey Billy, what's your favorite Elevation Worship song? I like the one where they say runnin' for a long time. So whenever I judge a worship song for the channel, I like to imagine myself worshiping along with them because we don't normally sing a lot of these songs at my church, to be honest. So when I imagine myself worshiping to this song, I probably would just leave the service that day, or at least go to the bathroom or something until that song was over. Like, honestly, I originally had this song a little lower on my list because musically it's pretty atypical for a worship song. But the more I thought and wrote about it and listened to it, I just got more annoyed at it and I brought it higher. It just doesn't feel like worship. It's hype. The kind of hype you get at a concert. And people complain about worship music being repetitive. This is probably the most egregious example I can think of all worship music I've ever heard, because you're not really repeating any kind of phrase or anything. Like, it's not like I love you, Lord, I love you, Lord, I love you, Lord. This is just a word. You're just repeating a word. And it's not even like a good word. It could be like holy, because that's even scriptural, like holy, holy, holy. But even then, when they say holy, 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 it's usually followed by is the Lord God Almighty. This just feels like you're just saying the word running, 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 running. Like, yeah. it's way too much for me, and I can't stand it. Elevation Worship did like okay this year with other songs, but this song, for some reason, I do not know why they did this song. So that's my number 3. It's "Runnin'" by Elevation Worship.
Keeps on running, running, keeps on running back to me. Oh, running, 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 running,
Did you guys like that? I decided to do something a little different than just like a 10-second clip, and just because I wanted you guys to get a picture of what that song was. It's like, yeah, I literally took every time that they said "run" or "runnin'" and compiled it together in that clip. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just thought it was pretty funny. So, all right. So number 2 is also a worship song, and it is "Monday Morning Faith" by SEU Worship. Now, this selection might be more of a personal one for me. I mean, a lot of these are anyways, but this is probably the one that's like only I'm gonna get, probably, and I'm gonna try my best to convey why I don't like this song so much. And I don't know if anyone else feels the same way about this song, but for some reason this song also just annoys me. And I don't want to say that the songwriters have any bad intentions with this song. I'd never heard of SEU Worship or Chelsea Plank before. I'm sure they really love Jesus. In fact, the message behind this song is good. It's about wanting to love God and practice one's faith outside of Sunday. You know, have it be an everyday 24/7 thing. It just reminds me of a lot of things I find wrong with modern worship. I think this is one of those examples of a song that is probably more appropriate as a track on someone's album rather than for a worship setting, like someone's like solo songwriter album. Because the biggest problem with this song is that it's just too casual with its lyricism. Like, whatever happened to having reverence in our lyrics instead of trying to sound hip and cool? And of course, this song isn't as bad as like "Best Friends" by Hillsong Young and Free, but when you compare this to, say, any Keith and Kristen Getty song, there's still a big difference. I mean, the title alone says everything you need to know. Like, Monday Morning Faith. Like, okay, turn to your hymnals, page 252. We're gonna sing Monday Morning Faith. Okay, like, it just doesn't sound like the title of a worship song that I would sing at church. But if you told me, oh, this is the new single from Ann Wilson, I would believe you, because it seems more like a personal song of worship rather than something that should be sung as a congregation. So that's just my personal feelings on it. But also the line, "When did music become a religious thing?" Like, that's just bad. And that's one of the things that sticks out most for this song. When did music become a religious thing? Like, not only is that like it's too casual for a worship song and way too personal, but it's just like, is worship not supposed to be a religious thing? Like, I don't know if they're trying to go along with that thing where it's like, oh, Christianity isn't about religion, it's about a relationship. And I've always hated that because it's like, how about both? It is a religion, you know, there are certain practices that not that we're supposed to follow, because, you know, we're not legalistic, but it's like the congregation of believers, you know, meeting every Sunday, and, you know, baptism and communion, all the sacraments and all that, like that sounds like a religion, you know. And so I think that Christianity is both. It is religion, but it's the most relational religion out there. I mean, it is literally the true religion, you know, in my opinion. I've never understood that. I never liked that phrase. Christianity is not a religion; it's a relationship. Like, no, it's both. You know, you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I think that that's what that line is trying to say. It's like such an offhand line in the song, but it stuck out to me so much. When did music become a religious thing? Like, it kind of is, you know. It's a religious, it can be like a religious experience, you know, connecting with God and everything. So I don't really know what they mean by that. It's just such an offhand thing. It just makes no sense. So yeah, I had a lot of problems with this song. It's and so that's why it's personally my number 2, Monday Morning Faith by SEU Worship.
And that's all I really need, and my soul sings in the morning. I love the King.
All right, so we're finally getting to it. The moments that you've all been waiting for. The number 1 worst song, Christian hit song of 2023. And by the way, I don't know if I said this earlier that this is all my opinion. This is not. None of this is just my opinion. It is objective fact. These are all the worst Christian songs of 2023. No arguments there. I don't care what I said before. So this, my number 1 worst Christian hit song of 2023 is My America, I Still Believe by Danny Gokey. Now, I need to say that I am not anti-patriotic. You guys that know me, I am pro-American and I am conservative in a lot of the ways. But I am also pro-art. And this is not art. At least it's not good art, in my opinion. God bless Danny, as I'm sure he really believes what he's singing, but this sounds more like those patriotic songs that young folks sing mockingly because they're so passionate, but they're so cheesy. Like, what's that one song that's like, and I'm proud to be American. It's one of those songs. It's like, yeah, I understand the sentiment, but it's so cheesy. And this song, like, the lyrics sound like it came out of from like the 90s or 80s or 90s because it has that feel to it. And I'm all for addressing politics in music, you know, but man, conservatives really got to be better at writing these kinds of songs. Like, best example I can think of for this year, even though I don't think he would consider himself conservative, would be Oliver Anthony. That's the kind of songwriting we need in conservatism, like when it comes to addressing politics. This is we're not subtle enough. We're so like in your face about it, and it's like you're just gonna end up preaching to the choir. Like we got to be more creative with these things, and this is just too laughable, and I just can't take it seriously when I hear it. Uh, like there's just something about songwriters singing, "This is what I believe, and I'm gonna tell it like it is," that can just be off-putting to me and just comes off as preachy. Like there's a good way to do this, and it seems that very few people have figured out how to do it. Because that's the thing about like liberals and progressives, like they're pretty good at art. You gotta hand it to them for them most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of times they're pretty good at like the subtlety and the creativity, and I don't know. We just need to be better at that. And I'm not saying that My America is like the worst song that I've ever heard. It's just comedic to me. So it's kind of like it's so bad it's good kind of quality to the song. So I say this with all like lighthearted fun. This is my number one worst Christian hit song of 23. It's My America, I Still Believe by Danny Gokey.
I still believe in us, oh America, you're still the land I love.
Yeah, he's so passionate and so serious about it. I mean, God bless him. God bless America, but I don't know. It's fun. This is all good fun. So, all right, we got through it. That was my top 10 worst Christian hit songs of 2023. Let me know you guys' opinion. Did you disagree wholeheartedly with my list, or maybe parts of my list? Or did you agree? I'm sorry. I don't like to burp in the mic most of the time, but I'm sorry. Let me know. Maybe I missed some songs that were in the top 50 that you would have put in there. Or maybe it's not even a top 50 song. Maybe it's just a song that you heard on the radio or something and you're like, man, this is terrible. Let me know. But say in the comments, or if you're in the chat, let me know. I'd love to know. And so in the next episode, of course, we're going to get into what, in my opinion, were actually the best Christian best Christian hit songs of 2023. And like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, there were actually quite a few. I'm happy to say. So I'm actually really excited to be getting into the episode in 2 weeks. But yeah, we're not done yet though. There's still more that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, we have the best top 10 best Christian hit songs coming up in 2 weeks, and then I am going to do a top 10 best Christian albums. That's something that I haven't done before on this channel, and that's just going to be albums from Christian artists that I really liked. There's not going to be the same criteria where it's like, oh, it had to be in the Billboard top 200 or whatever. No, it's just because a lot of them actually are like independent artists that I liked. So, but before we do the top 10 Christian albums, there's actually going to be a special episode where I did it of an interview that I did. It's going to be an interview episode, and I'm not going to say who it is until next episode. So those are the 3 episodes that I have lined up. So yeah, 2024, it's going to be I'm already excited about it. 2023 was a pretty exciting year for the channel. Had some bumps in the road, of course. I had to take a break because of the technical difficulties where I couldn't stream for so long, and I couldn't do really much of anything for a long time. But then came back in September. It's been an eventful year, gotta say. Not just with the technical difficulties, but let's just kind of let me go through everything that we did in 2023. We're just kind of looking back. So we started off with with our top 10 lists, and then talked about Levi the Poet's documentary, and we ranked Keith Green's albums, and we also talked about Jesus Revolution and the Wingfeather Saga, which I think the new season is coming out this year, so I'll watch that and maybe share my thoughts. Talked about the Newsboys and how they had a new addition to the Newsboys. That was fun. We reached 400 subscribers last year, so we had our special 400 subscribers celebration where I shared actually I think I still have it here, the first album that I ever recorded as a youngster, and so I reacted to that. I hadn't listened to it in years. And then something weird happened last year. I came out with an episode that was titled Bethel and Hillsong Have Taken Over. And in that episode, I also talked briefly about this album from a certain someone named Derek Webb. And that little conversation became like one of the first dramas that this channel has ever been through. That episode ended up getting over 2,000 views and like over 50 comments because Derek Webb found my video and got a lot of his fans after me, basically. So we addressed that drama. That was fun. By the way, Derek Webb still hasn't gotten back to me. Talked about is blank a Christian bang, the Instagram account. Talked about the Kayla Fan Awards, and that was around when the technical difficulties happened, so I took a break from streaming. But I had those really cool conversations with Becoming the Archetype and Ronnie Martin from Joy Electric. That was probably one of the highlights of last year, is just being able to talk to him. And I'm glad we got those conversations recorded. I did want to like release them as an episode, but I just kind of released them as their own video. And then we came back and I revamped the theme song and everything. We got a new look and everything and had some really cool conversations. We came back talking about Oliver Anthony and Christian music. Had some really awesome interviews we had Mixtape Theology on here talking about their book. We had Saint of Pine Hills on here. Corey on here talking about his music. And we had Benjamin Daniel on here talking about his album, Home Enough for Now. And then we, our last episode, we talked about Mike Maines. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff happened this year. And I'm really looking forward to 2024, and I just kind of wanted to get into what we can expect from 2024. So, obviously, people seem to really like the interviews, so I'm going to be doing more of those. I already got some lined up. Got one that I already did, and that's going to be the new one of those special episodes that's going to come in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that. And I actually landed a really cool interview with someone that I'm a fan of and have a lot of respect for. And so I haven't had the conversation just yet, but I'm really excited. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys just yet. So you'll have to, stay tuned about that. And I'm going to be reaching out to more people this year because I like doing the interviews, and it seems that other people do. And there's some cool people that I would love to talk to. So we'll see, because this channel is getting some traction. We're still pretty small, but we're getting some, I guess, respect in the indie Christian music scene. So that's really good. Really excited about what's to come. Also, so audio feed is this year, and I plan on being there. I haven't been notified if I'm going to be involved in any way like I was last year, but either way, I still plan on having like my own booth, and I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do this year. And if you guys are planning on coming to Audio Feed, you should definitely come and see me. But one thing that I'm really wanting to do is holding my own interviews there to record and put on this show. I'm not going to do a documentary like I did last time, but it's going to be kind of similar to what I did with Ronnie Martin and Becoming the Archetype, but releasing it as part of an episode. And what I'd like to do, this is kind of what I'm envisioning now. Maybe it'll change as the festival draws closer. But I'd love to just kind of reach out to some of the artists there. They haven't announced all of the artists just yet, but there might be some that I'd love to reach out to and be like, hey, come over to my booth and we're going to record an interview and I'll put it on my show. So that's what I'm planning on. I think that would be really fun. That is, if I'm not saying that they will, but like in case who knows, they might reach out to me and want me to do something either similar to what I did last year or something different, but we'll see. I'm probably going to reach out to them and see if they have any ideas, but yeah. So what else to expect? More album rankings. I think those are fun, especially since because I was asking about it like a month ago. I made a post asking what kind of artists you guys would like to see album rankings for. And I think that would be fun for me, not just to talk about artists that I know, but I also think it would be fun to talk about artists that I'm not as familiar with, but have meant to do a sort of like deep dive into their discography. And that would be like a good excuse for me to do that. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys have any suggestions, leave a comment. But I think album rankings are fun, doing like the tier lists and such. And it's fun just to be able to have an excuse to listen to music. So I've got some fun ideas for like individual episodes, honestly. So stay tuned for that. And of course, outside of the live streams and the podcast, I'm still got plans for more edited videos, like some actual like serious projects. Like I was talking about the John James documentary, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get on that soon. But we got the Days of Noah video. I'm planning on attending Winter Jam this year, especially if I can get someone else to come and like be a cameraman for me. And I'd love to do a Winter Jam video, just kind of detailing my experience there and my opinions. Be like a sort of like review of Winter Jam. And I'm excited for it because I'm probably not going to have a good time. And I think that will end up being a fun video to make. So there's that. And there might be a couple other ideas that I have on the back burner. So we'll see. Also, a big goal that I have for this year is to reach 500 subs at least. Last year we reached 400, so let's go for the 500, guys. If you guys know anyone who might enjoy my content, who like Christian, they love the world of Christian music. Here's a puppy. We got a puppy. Oh, come here, Watson. Everyone wants to see. He's got his ball here. Come here. So yeah, we're going to try to reach 500 subs. So if you guys want to help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. One last thing is, come here. Come here. No. Come here. What are you doing? He's got his ball, so I think he's trying to play with me. Come here. He wants me to chase him, I think. Watson, come here. Come here, puppy. Look at this. Look, I want to show you. I want to show you the screen. Come here. Come here. Come here. I want to show you. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Come up. Look. Yeah. Puppies are good for streams, for views. Oh, you dropped your ball. Is that why you're upset? Okay. Sorry, everyone. I'm sure you don't mind this little detour. Okay. All right. Go along, Watson. I'm doing a show. Hope you don't. I don't know if you can hear squeaking in the background, but anyways, so I actually have a big announcement. Well, it's kind of big, not a huge deal, but so I have it was a while ago. I think I made some sort of post or poll on the YouTube community, and I asked for people's opinions on whether, because I like to make like highlight videos or like clips or whatever of the show to like help bring in an audience, maybe for people who don't watch the full episode, or maybe it's to help bring in outsiders to discover the show, because they don't want to watch the whole like an hour and a half to 2 hour episode. So I make clips, I make highlight videos and whatever. But I had asked a while ago if like, hey guys, should I continue putting these videos up on my main channel, or should I make a separate channel? And from my memory, I think people mostly voted for a majority for it to stay on my channel, on the main channel. And that includes like, you know, my humble opinion clips, you know, where I'm reviewing the certain new releases at the end and stuff like that. Maybe particular moments of the show that I think deserve their own video. And it seemed that people were mostly wanted it to stay on the channel. And I was like, okay, but I've decided to be my own man, make my own decisions. Not that I really appreciate you guys' feedback and opinions, but I've kind of realized kind of the same thing that same idea behind with like the logo with change on the thumbnails and the watermark here at the bottom left screen. I'm kind of wanting to clean things up because I never really liked the fact that I was cluttering my channel with a bunch of random videos that weren't the main videos, you know? So like, and that's one thing that I don't like about certain channels, where like I go to their channel and it's like a bunch of random stuff, and it's just kind of like overwhelming with, you know, clips, highlight videos, whatever. And it's just like, when people go to my channel, I want them to see like what it's about. I want them to see the videos that I actually put effort into, like the you know, the bi-weekly shows and the edited videos. And I feel like with all these highlight videos and such, everything just gets buried, you know, and it just looks too cluttered in my opinion. And so I've decided to make the executive decision on my show to make an extra channel for this stuff, and it's going to be called I'm Clifford today. That's what I'm going with for now. I think it's funny, and you know, so that's what I've done, and I've created it. I haven't put any content on there yet, but from now on, that's where all my humble opinion highlights and all the other highlight videos and clips. I've been considering putting more effort into making shorts with like clips from the show, but I just haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's where things are going to be from now on. And so you guys can subscribe to it if you want, if you actually do watch the highlight videos and such. I would recommend you go over there and subscribe. I put a link in the description of the video. Or if you just want to, you know, like support the channel and just be a number, be an extra, you know, subscription number. You know, it looks good for me to have as many subscribers as possible. But yeah, basically what I'm going to do with those videos is that, yeah, they'll be like the normal, like highlight videos or clips. But I'll make sure at the end of the video to like kind of direct them, be like, hey, this is a highlight from my show on my main channel. Go check it out. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. I don't think that that's going to upset a lot of people. Hopefully not. But either way, you know, this is what I'm deciding to do. And I just think it's best this way. So yeah, I'm Clifford today. like I said, the link is going to be in the description, and you can find it there. And go subscribe if you want to. It's not necessary. Again, everything that I do is going to be on this channel, because those are highlight videos. Those are clip videos. So you're still going to be able to watch them like in the context of the full video. But if you're just more of a fan of the highlight videos than you are of the actual full-length videos, then that's fine. That would be the place to go. So, yeah. Anywho, that's all that I have for announcements. And we're still not done yet. Speaking of my humble opinion, we're going to get to that now. So we had a few releases. There's a lot of releases like during the month of December, but I'm not going to talk about them. They already happened, and most of them are Christmas songs anyway, or Christmas albums. So, but we had a few releases that came out the past few weeks, and we're going to talk about them. So, Need to Breathe has already released some new music. And I think that I don't know if they're planning on releasing another album this year. I mean, they already had their album Caves from last year, and they just decided to release a new single, and it's called I Don't Want to Worry. And I listened to it, and I think it's fine. It's not the strongest Need to Breathe song. It's like, you know, unless this is going to, be telling of what the next album is going to be like, I hope that this isn't like the high of the album, because it's going to be an otherwise mediocre album. The song is fine. It's got some interesting production aspects to it, some really interesting sounds that they put into it. But I guess my biggest problem is that it's just the song doesn't really say much outside of the repetitive I don't want to worry. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys would be a fan of it. It's not bad. It's just not my. I'm a Need to Breathe fan. There's a lot of songs from them that I love. Even when Caves wasn't a great or perfect album, there were songs out there that really stood out to me that I loved. But yeah, this one is more of just kind of like a whatever song in my opinion. So. But I don't know, maybe you guys will like it. So maybe you can check it out. I Don't Want to Worry by Need to Breathe. All right, next up, we have another artist that they're just constantly coming out with content anyway, so it's not surprising that after they released an album last year that they're already dishing out songs for their next album. But it's the Worship Initiative. It's the Worship project started by Shane and Shane. They've got a hymns album coming out, and so they've released a couple of singles from that. This is like their fifth hymns album, but I don't mean to mock them. I am a Worship Initiative fan for the most part. Sometimes I feel like that they can be a little stale and a little repetitive, but they released their own renditions of Oh for a Thousand Tongues to Sing and Just As I Am. And Oh for a Thousand Tongues to Sing has Shane and Shane singing on it, and Just As I Am has Robbie C.A. And I think they're both really good. There are definitely some songs that I would put on my worship playlist, because that's something that I appreciate about Shane and Shane and Worship Initiative, is that they seem to care about orthodoxy for the most part. And I really like it when artists take hymns and like bring them back to life. They definitely like added their own like choruses to it, which, like, I guess that is like the Chris Tomlin route, and I'm not a fan of Chris Tomlin, but like if you can pull it off, then that's fine. And I think they do a pretty good job at it, and they sound great. I love the kind of like country influence, especially on the Just As I Am track. So I'm excited for the release of the whole album. So I say definitely check these songs out. It's Oh for a Thousand Tongues to Sing and Just As I Am by the Worship Initiative.
Oh, come on and sing out loud. Anthem blow loud beneath one breath. Because thy promise I believe, O Lamb of God.
All right, next up, we have a new track from Judah and the Lion. It is what it is. It actually is like fresh off the press. Came out just yesterday, and I have some thoughts about it. I think I actually wasn't expecting much, because sometimes Judah and the Lion, they can, kind of release the same song. But this one I think is really interesting. It's not a perfect song, but I appreciate it mostly. I like how upfront and honest Judah is with his lyricism. And I was kind of thinking, I wasn't expecting him to talk about God that much, but he does talk about God in this song, because Judah and the Lion is usually kind of like where, they remain mostly secular with their sound and they don't talk about God that much, but Judah kind of saves that for his solo stuff. But in this one, they talk about God, and I appreciate what this song is about. It's basically about, like, with all the bad things in the going on in our lives, we can wonder, like, what was the purpose? What could I have done different? Yada yada yada. The main message of this song is like, it is what it is, because that's how it was supposed to happen, and we just gotta do with it what we can. It's kind of like the Lord of the Rings quote. It's like, I wish none of this had ever happened. Like, so do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we can do is decide what to do with the time that is given to us. So sorry to nerd out there with the Lord of the Rings quote, but that's basically the message of the song, and I appreciate it. Couple of issues that I have with it, and one of them is that the song is explicit. And I did talk about this before on the show last year about Christians cussing in their music. You can go check that out and hear my opinion on it. It's basically, they say the S word, and it's like, as I say when I talked about it last time, I don't have the strongest feelings about it, but sometimes, especially with Judah and the Lion and Judah's music, sometimes it seems that they're just doing it kind of for the sake of being edgy. But I don't really get that from this song, because it's just kind of an offhand thing that they say at the end of the song. But it's also, at the same time, it's like, oh, was that really necessary? Like, you could have said something else, but whatever. If that bothers you, then probably don't check out this song. Don't play this song around your kids, even though it might be hard for them to really hear it. Like, if you blink, you kind of miss it in the song. The other problem is at the end of the song, when the final chorus kicks in, it feels a little anticlimactic. Like, I don't know, they probably could have done something with I guess the cymbals, if there were any cymbals at all, are kind of like mixed really quietly. And I feel like if there was more of that, then the final chorus would have felt a little bit more anticlimactic. It felt more climactic. When it comes back in, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're here now. Wasn't much build up or just like, bang to it, but that's just my opinion. Overall, I think it's a pretty good song, and I'm definitely going to be jamming out to it. So yeah, and they've got a new album coming out in spring, I believe, and it's going to be the first album that they release since the departure of their third member. I don't remember his name, but so yeah, check it out if it sounds interesting. Is What It Is by Judah and the Lion.
It is what it is, wasn't meant to happen any other way, 'cause it did. Doesn't really matter what you wanted in the end, when it is what it
is what it is. All right. So that's it for this show. It's good to be back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and still, supporting me and giving me all that undeserved love. Like I said, 2 weeks from now, top 10 best Christian hit songs of 2023. I think you're going to definitely want to check it out because it could be some music that, maybe you're not a radio listener. I mean, I'm sure most of my fans probably don't like tune into the radio. If you do, then you're a freak. So that's why I do it for you guys. But you might find some music that you might like. I think it's important. That's kind of the job that I've given myself as a YouTuber, as a critiquer of Christian music, is that like I think it's important to call out the bad when it's bad. And I think it's also important to praise the good when it's good, because that way, hopefully, the Christian music industry will get the message that they'll get the message, that they got to stop making bad Christian music and promote the good stuff. So that's why I think you guys should tune in and kind of like help support what I'm trying to do. So, yeah. Anyways, I think that's it, and so we'll just wrap this up then. So, thanks again for checking out the I'm Clifford Today show. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're on. I don't know if any others give the option of reviewing, but most of them give the option to rate. So please do that. It helps me out. Podwood Forecast, like I said, we just did our top 10 albums of 2018, so go check that out. And we'll be releasing our 2023 lists as well. Welcome, Solid Sloths. I don't know how long you've been watching, but thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe if you liked what you saw and what you heard. It really helps me out. We're going for that 500 goal this year, at least 500. I don't know, maybe God will bless us. Always got merchandise. You can buy merch at a link in the description. And yeah, I'm always working on new stuff, working on the Days of Noah video. I'm glad to be back. Feels great. I like it too, Solid Sloths. I like you too. Anyways, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Top 10 best Christian hit songs 2023. It's going to be awesome. But bye-bye.